Well, everyone, it is now time to finish up my pile of shame of Chaos Space Marines with Cypher. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers, but he came in a kit known as the... Well, I'll just bring the box out. These ones here. You would get Begulliman, Sky the Grey Knights, and of course, Cypher. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm going, can I paint him up? He probably won't be like the box art, but, you know, best to my ability. And of course, I'm not going to use any speed paints on this. It's going to be bare paints. And speaking of which, probably have that box as a reference here anyway. So they go with Abaddon Black, Dawnstone, Administrum Grey for highlights, and the cloak, Serapha, and then you should be bowed on top. Well, I'm going to prime him white anyway. So, I think for this, we have Matte Black by Army Painter, Matte White by Army Painter. I'll probably use the white for edge highlights, but let's see what else we got here. I'm going to use, of course, gunmetal on his metally bits. And let's see, what else do we have here? I have a leather brown, but that's a little too bright. Here we go. Use an oak brown for his band straps. Actually, I'll probably use that leather brown for highlights. But then again, I could just use the white paint. An oak brown, the gunmetal bit, skeleton bone. That'll work good on the cloak. We do also have some red, so I'm going to opt with pure red. I'm going to have some blue for his coil packs. Let's just get this organized here. So we got armor, a mixing of white, cloak bit. We double cloak that. Guns, inner cloak. I also have a glistening blood. Oh, that's an effects paint. Where's my other reds? I thought I had a couple other reds here. I also have a dragon red. It's a bit of a darker red. We'll use that. I also got a uniform gray. We'll give that a whirl too. I also got a bit of gold on here too, but I'm gonna go with a greedy gold. And then probably re-brighten it up with bright gold. And of course, I do have the light tone wash as well. I'll probably use that in select spots on his robe. Okay, so it's definitely a heroic character project. I want this to really stand out. I could go and do my own thing too, but I can always buy another model and do a different paint job, or kit bash something to be my own Cypher kind of thing, right? And yeah, okay. If I need any more colors, I will grab some as I need them. I do need to get some mixing balls into these two. That one's got a mixing ball. That one's already got two. That one's got one. These ones will need mixing balls as well. So I'll get on that, and we'll be right back with the, well, this primer coat of white. So just before I primed them up, I did put some Games Workshop sand down, and at least now I can see where some of the cobwebs I missed to pull off are. So let's just get rid of these things. Don't want that in the paint job. You know, even when I rebuild that back display shelf, I do wonder if spiders still going to go in there and build up little cobwebs and stuff for insects. I think that's most of them off. think what I'm going to do first is work on the armor. The armor seems to be a bit of a big one. So, let's get my matte black out. So to go with like a black color, what else here? I think for a little more control, I'm going to use a smaller brush here that I have. Let's see. My detail brush from Citadel to do the trick. Let's get these colors out of the way. Some water. Uh-oh. I need some fresh paper towel. Let's get these up here out of the way. Now I am using a wet palette for this, of course. So the paints stay wet longer, but makes blending a little easier. So I believe pretty much all the paneling is black, and this bits of the scab around the sword is also black. That's going to be for the cloth bit. Yeah, that's going to be a fun bit to do up. Alright. He's also got like these little, let me see them well on camera, these little bits sticking out. Those are like leather straps. Even though this paint's thinned down, it really, really does go for white pretty darn well. Well, I got most of his armor all blacked out as far as I can see from the examples on the box as well. And it's starting to look pretty good. There's like a fine silver lining here. I'm going to go paint over at some point as well, but what a paint that's going to be. So, I think I will do the cloak next. I don't really see anything on the example pictures here, but I'll tell you one thing. I probably should have put this, paint them up in assembly. Some brown on the scabbard. There's the brown on his wrist there. The straps. I gotta touch this dot up here with some white at some point too. And a strap there. But I kind of want to do the cloak in this, where is it? Oak brown first. And then use it as like a base for the deep recesses for my skeleton bone. I'll do on top of that. And then I could cheat with a wash. You know. Well, I got light brown for that, I guess. Root beer, I just let you in. What do you want? You hungry? Alright, I'm going to feed the cat. I'll continue on this. Well, that's 2 thin coats. I think I didn't pour out enough of the medium on the second shake, but that's okay. Got it all nice and dark in the recess is where I want it to go. Oh shoot, forgot a little hole right there. Let's just fix that. And that one too. There we go. So now, the leather strap bits are all done up. No need to go back and do anything more to them. They're doing pretty good. Maybe a touch of a brown there. Come on. Right there. Where it's white. There we go. And, yeah, now to go over with some skeleton bone. And I'll do... yeah, skeletal bone. See if it might take a couple of coats. Then let that all dry. Then do a skeleton bone and white matte mix. That might take a couple of coats as well. Let that dry and then do some... where is it? Light tone. Down around the edges. Gonna make it kind of dirty like in the artwork here. And, yeah, go back over that just once more with skeletal bone and matte white. It shouldn't be too complicated, I don't think. But at the same time, on all these deep recesses to maintain a lot of that original browns. Well, as best I can. Maybe going a little far with more than 3 colors on a cloak here, but still, I mean, it'll work out, right? I hope. Nothing like experimenting. Yeah, add some medium to this paint. It was a little bit thick. They didn't put enough medium in it or something. Okay, just add a bit of water here. I'm gonna thin that down a little too much. Big old brush. That's okay. A little more paint won't harm it. I really wish I could just lock my screen on one rotation, having to pull this back all the darn time. They're located to, not located to, reset it for widescreen. But anywho, this is where I made it tonight with the cloak. I did mix in the white and the skeleton bone together. Let that dry. And yeah, I'm gonna get something to eat because it's like almost 10 o'clock now. And no, it's looking pretty darn good. I will do a white highlight tomorrow over the brighter part, over the more raised portions, right? And then I will. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Metallics. Here it is. I'll do a light tone over the lower part and recesses of the cape tomorrow and touch them back up again. And yeah, because once that's done, I'm going to move on to the right of inside the cloak. It's going to be fun. And of course, at the very, very end, once done all the cloak work, I would say it's safe to say to go back to the armor and start edge highlighting that armor up to pull it from some of that jet black. But yeah, that's all tomorrow night. Alright everyone, it's the following evening. I stayed up late all morning because it was raining outside and I had trouble sleeping. And it's still raining right now. So if you hear any noise in the background, that's my wood furnace, just keeping the place warm. And now as I try to remember, what was I doing with this guy? Right, the cloak work. Going to, yes, let's get back to that. Gonna do a light tone wash over the whole thing. And I'll let that dry, but while that's drying, I'm gonna start the metal work here on the sword and the gun as well, and the backpack. I do gotta do something about that feather bit there, but that'll come after. And let me get my little this guy out. Stick over there. Okay, so the cloak's pretty much ready for the final coat and then a bit more. I got the metal work done and did some minor edge highlighting, just a little bit. I'm gonna have to go back and do a little more to it though. But yeah, I'm looking at the cloak on the box. I'm looking at this one here. I'm going, I hope I don't F this up. So I'm going to bounce between my fine detail brush here, or so my detail brush, and my monster brush for this cloak. Because there's some parts here where you just kind of got to go in and just go, there are bigger spots. But the smaller details, I want to refine it a little more. So let's get this back over here because I'm trying to preserve the moisture inside the palette here. And yes, I'm playing my buddy's music while he streams. Okay, so this paint's still good. Kinda. Add a bit of water to it. Here he is, currently in all his glory. I've been doing a little more detail work on the cloak and some other stuff. All I have to do really is to do the plasmic coil, do some bronze, wash the gun in certain spots, and retouch it up with the same metallic paint again. But do a bit on this other pistol down there. Like the chest cavity, as far as I can see, it's a white skeleton-like piece, so I'm just leaving that white like all the other skeleton bits here. So, yeah. And I have left to do is just his face. So, gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the face. Maybe do like an oak brown undercoat, maybe, and then build it up with some kind of flesh. Or should I go with like a light purple or pink? Or dark purple or pink, sorry, and then build up from that. Because his face is so small to see. Oh, there's a spot with metallics right here. So yeah, I'll get the gun and face done up and see how he looks. Also, side note, I suck at hedge highlighting. I did as best I could, but I had to go back with more black to clean up the thickness of the lines. But I really am loving the his cloak effect. I'm glad I didn't go with a full pure white like on the box work. Right, this is just my attempt at it anyway. It's a little more dirtier, a little more grittier. And there's some spots on the very back I couldn't get into, but that's alright. We're not worried about that. And with the last touch-ups done, he is now complete. Thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy the motor hum. Motor hum AMSR. Whatever that means, I don't know. I'm supposed to whisper it too.